Right. And at the time you were doing a role, but your auxiliary role was evidence response.
Yes.
An evidence response team for the FBI.
That's correct.
And is that your current role still?
Yes, not so much anymore because I've been really busy.
Right.
But I'm still a member of the team, yes.
And you were the team lead back then?
I was the acting because our original team leader was out of the office at the time.
Acting team lead.
Yes.
Okay, cool. We'll talk about that in a minute. And before that, I think you said that you were a crime lab analyst for the Department of Public Safety.
Correct.
And was that at the lab in Austin?
No, it was a lab here in Corpus, actually.
Oh, so you worked down in Corpus?
Yes.
And I think that you said that your primary focus when you were doing that in Corpus was DNA analysis.
Correct.
And kind of that, I guess that kind of dovetails into one of your auxiliary roles now was the evidence collection.
Correct. Yes.
And it must inform how you go about your role now.
Correct.
Yeah. But let's talk about your time with your FBI forensics. So you said that you obviously went through the academy to become an agent.
Correct.
And then you had additional training. Is that fair to say in the crime scene investigation?
Yes.
And did I hear correctly? You said it was a 2-week course?
It starts with 2 weeks to get certified, and then throughout the years you'll get ongoing, education.
Right.
But yeah, it starts with 2 weeks. Yes.
So 2 weeks to start off with, and then you get continuing education and experience in that.
Of course. Yes.
And I guess by the time of this incident, you've been doing that for 10 years.
From what you're talking about, my crime scene experience?
Yeah.
It started in 1994 to 2022. So that's, my math, 30 something years, 28 years?
Oh, that's a lot of experience. So I appreciate that. So with the Bureau, from 2012, you've been with the Bureau?
No, I've been in the San Antonio division since 2012. I've been an agent since 2004.
Right, okay,
Yes.
That makes sense. And 10 years before that was with the DPS?
Yes.
Right,
yes.
okay, that because the numbers weren't adding up.
Okay.
I get it. So, you said one of the roles that you do, and well, you were an acting team leader at the time of this incident.
Yes, there's a team lead for every crime scene, right? So at that time, I was the acting team because our most senior team leader was gone.
All right, so that's a yes, right?
Yes.
So how many people were in your team?
Our office is pretty big, right? So we have a team up in Austin, we have a team out in McAllen,
Right.
and then we have a team in San Antonio. And so I can't even venture to get. I don't even know how many people are on the team.
Well, no, maybe that's the way I asked that was different. So how many people were on your team at this time?
During the initial response, if I remember correctly, and forgive me, this is 2022, there was probably around 8 to 10.
Yeah, an approximate number is okay. I'm not trying to tie you to a specific number. So it's not 200. It's 8 to 10 people are on your team.
About that time, yes.
Yeah, because we'll talk about it in time. But some of the search techniques you're talking about, doing line searches and stuff, that is, you need a lot of people to do that effectively.
Sure, the more people, the better.
The more people, the better, because it's detailed and it's intensive work, right?
It's detailed, yes.
Yeah. So there's 8 to 10 people around, right, in your team. And you were supervising this team as an acting lead because the lead was out for whatever reason, right?
Yes.
And it doesn't matter what reason they're out for, but they were out. You were in charge for that time period.
We had other individuals come in from other offices to shore up the number of people that we had initially.
Right.
So in the beginning, the first day, it was a little tougher because we only had so many people.
Right.
But then we had people also come in from the valley, so that's a longer drive. So we had more people later.
So more people came to assist in your crime scene investigation later on?
Sure. Yes.
Right, okay. So I'm still trying to talk about your experience and your training right now. So you said that you did, you got some training and experience in crime scene reconstruction.
Yes.
Is that correct? Now, the jury's not heard any testimony about that. Do you use any scanners, such as a Leica scan, when you recreate crime scenes?
No, so you gotta understand, when I first started, it was in 1994, right? So the technology was more basic back then. So a lot of it is just more rudimentary, right? When I was with DPS, that's when I got the bulk of my crime scene reconstruction training.
Right.
We were doing everything with just 1 or 2 or 3 people in the lab, right? Most of our crime scenes were done with just a few people. Now that I'm with the FBI, everything's more specialized. We have more people, more resources. And so there will be somebody doing certain techniques. Other people would do certain techniques. Back then, when I first got my crime scene reconstruction training, it wouldn't be strange for an analyst to go and do the photograph themselves, then do the evidence collection, then do the lab work, and then write the report, everything from beginning to end. But we don't do that anymore.
Okay.
I don't do that anymore.
No, and I wasn't suggesting you do. I'm just talking about some of the techniques because my next question was based on whether or not you Leica trained. Was a Leica scan used in this case?
I don't think so. No, not by us.
Not by you.
We were asked to do one thing.
Yeah, and so what I want to do is explain what a Leica scan is. There is technology out there, and I understand your testimony to the jury is that when you did your training, the technology was a bit more, I think, and the techniques were a bit more rudimentary. Is that fair to say? And obviously now you know that law enforcement has access to some devices, and one of them is called a Leica scan, which is a scanning tool that surveyors use, and they use it in construction, right?
We have surveying, so we did a total station scan.
Right.
And we also have scanning equipment that we have, and we did a total station of the whole scene.
Right, okay, so you did a scan in this case.
Yes, like a survey of measurements.
So it's kind of like a Leica, it's slightly different. It would be, you're a man move around.
Sorry?
May I move around the world?
Sure.
So a Leica scan would be, or a total station is something you put on a podium or a plinth or something like this thing here.
Yes.
An easel. It's not an easel, but you put it on something and it will scan an area, correct?
Yes.
And it will identify where things are.
Yes.
And it will note that. And then you put it into a computer system, and later on it will print something out, and it will be a map showing where all the evidence is.
Correct.
And so a total scan was done in this case, right?
Total station, yes.
Total station, which is
Similar.
it's not a Leica. Leica's probably like a brand name.
Yes.
It's the same sort of thing. And that is, it creates a document and it shows where things are after you've marked it, right?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
correct.
And okay, so you did use that in this case.
Yes.
All right, good. We'll talk about that in a minute. So one of the things you also spoke about is, I guess when you process a lot of these scenes, is you're looking for evidence of firearms
Yes.
and ammunition.
Yes, correct.
And it sounds like in this case, you'd agree with me, your focus was mostly on spent ammunition,
That's correct.
right? And documenting that.
Yes.
Right, okay. Because I think you said something along the lines of you can glean, and this is where your previous experience comes in, right? You can glean a lot of evidence from a used cartridge, right?
Yes.
And sometimes that could be in your other focus previously it would be DNA,
Sure.
right? Not so much in this case because we know who shot that gun, right?
That's correct.
Right, because the person who did this was already dead by the time you came and investigated.
That's correct.
Right, so in this case you weren't investigating a suspect as such.
That's correct.
You were just documenting the scene and for investigatory purposes.
Yes.
So in this case it's slightly different to others where you're not worried about contamination as much because you're not worried about DNA being washed off of anything.
No, we weren't concerned about DNA.
No, and so that will change how you deal with things slightly, right?
Yes.
Because if you were concerned about DNA, which you weren't, right, hypothetically there'd be more urgency to do this now, right, to collect it immediately or as fast as possible.
Well, we weren't under any time constraints, right? We still have to go through our process. Long range shot, medium range shot, close up shot, you mark it, you pick it up, you do another close up shot of it. So we weren't under any time constraints.
That's what I mean. So that's what I mean. You weren't under any time constraints because you didn't have the urgency to preserve DNA evidence as such as you would in other cases.
DNA is very stable. Depending on the environment, DNA could last a long time, right?
Okay.
So, but we didn't have that consideration in our mind.
Exactly. So you wouldn't, DNA is stable sometimes. It's funny, you'll hear different people testify to different things about DNA and how stable it is. But you wouldn't want to get washed off of an object.
No, correct.
No. So anyway, so in this case, your role was to come and document the scene.
Yes, outside. Outside the school, not inside.
And as outside, yeah, because where I'm going with thank you, Jason, with that is because the next day it rained. This happened on the 24th. The next day, well, it rained overnight, I should say.
I think it rained that evening.
Yeah.
Because we were in the middle of doing this, and I remember it raining. So I think it was that evening.
We can look at it. I think one of the state's photographs I introduced, you can see this as some inclement weather. So, normally that would inform how urgent you are with recovering stuff. But you were doing outside, right?
We were just doing the outside. That's correct.
And so the DNA thing, despite the DNA thing, the shell casings can reveal other things. And Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to use states very briefly. I think it's demonstrative 2 again. Bring this over. Because, so, I know you've already explained that, and I think it states 19. What does it feel like? Is it not? Yeah, 19's the shell casings, right? And these are the ones that you recovered from the scene.
Correct.
Without going into the packets. And the shell casing, the jury's heard evidence about this before, is just the cartridge. That's the shell casing.
Yes.
Right? The projectile gets shot out the barrel, and this cartridge gets ejected out of the weapon.
That's correct.
Right? And so, and I think the testimony earlier was that when a weapon recycles, or a firearm is fired, the firearm pin goes forward, strikes the primer,
Yes.
right? Very fast burn, some people call it an explosion, happens, and the projectile gets fired out the barrel.
Correct.
Right? Because of the action of the weapon, it recycles, and the bolt action of the rifle or the weapon brings this cartridge back and it gets ejected out of the weapon.
Correct.
And like you said, we know that with a long weapon, it's to the right-hand side.
Yes.
And it can, how far that projectile or that spent casing could be thrown can depend on a couple of things.
Yes, like where it ends up could depend on a lot of different things.
Depend on a lot of things. And so, and what I'm saying is, you can find evidence on this casing of tool mark. You're familiar with tool mark analysis, right?
Yes.
And so one of those things is the markings. Tool mark analysis, you'd agree, is the markings that are left on, in this instance, the casing by the metal inside that weapon.
Okay,
Right?
so
Roughly speaking.
roughly speaking, yes.
Without getting too deep into the science.
Yes.
Roughly speaking. Because there will be, the firing pin will leave an individual characteristic.
Yeah, indentation on the primer.
Indentation,
Yes.
Because each firing, it's like a fingerprint for a weapon. Kind of.
Not so much with the firing pin, but
The totality.
Yes, yes.
Because the firing pin will some weapons they'll fire and strike in the same place, and also you'll find some markings that are similar on the cartridge from where the round is getting stripped and spent and shot out of the weapon by the ejector claw or pin.
You could, yes.
And that will, so depending on the configuration of that weapon is one of the factors when how far and where that spent cartridge goes, right?
Sure.
Right. And so, I appreciate it. Just look at that for a second. I mean, like I said, there's lots of variables that can affect that. And I guess certain batches of ammunition can be different from others, right? And so,
Sure.
And that can affect how far a spent cartridge goes, right?
Yes.
But when it comes down to it, you testified that, case location is mostly an educated guess. Would you agree with that?
Depending, yeah, because there's a lot of variables.
Yeah, because of the variables.
Yeah.
And I should say where the case comes to rest is mostly a guess.
It's like an approximation. It's kind of like an educated guess, right?
An educated guess. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. I mean, that's what you said. I'm just using your testimony. You said you can guess how and where the shooter is.
Educated guess. Yeah.
Educated. Well, I agree with you. An educated guess. And it would depend on lots of factors, like you said. And
Sure.
If you're standing on concrete and a round gets expelled, the cartridge gets expelled, it can bounce,
It can bounce.
it can spin,
Sure.
and it will move.
Sure.
Right. And if you're firing on grass, maybe it will stand still. It will just drop and sit still.